Hi, this is Ray Reviews Root Beer, and if you like root beer as much as I do, you're in the right place. In fact, today I'm wearing a root beer t-shirt. This is from Triple X Root Beer, which I've reviewed in the past, but it turns out it used to be a hamburger root beer restaurant that was all over the nation. Now there's only one left. I think it's one left. Maybe there's two, but there's one up in Ithaca, Washington. Last year I was on a trip to Seattle. Saw this place was right next door. Had to go. It was amazing. If you want, I'll post or share some pictures and videos of that experience at the Triple X in Ithaca, Washington. Great root beer, giant. Oh, I should show you the video. I was there with my brother John, and he gave me a root beer recently to try. He lives, so this one. This is Henry Weinhard's root beer. It's fancy. I'll get to that in a second. But first, do you remember I told you about the essential oils that smell like root beer? And how we, in the past, have talked about the essential ingredient in my mind for root beer is sassafras oil, or at least artificial sassafras oil. What are all the other spices that go into that natural and artificial flavors section? What is it about root beer that makes it so spicy and gives it that characteristic smell and taste that people try to recreate in candies? So I've copied down a list of all the ingredients in traditional root beer. Not that every root beer has all these ingredients, but these are ingredients that are used in root beers that you might recognize and give it some of that spiciness, bitterness, and general flavor. It's a long list, so I wrote it down. I hope you're prepared. I'll try to read a little fast. Okay, there's allspice, birch bark, coriander. Coriander, I wonder if that's the same as what they put on salads, or if it's just the seed, probably just the seed. Juniper, ginger, wintergreen, hops, burdock root, dandelion root, spikenard, pipisewa, guaiacum chips, sarsaparilla, spicewood, wild cherry bark, yellow deck, prickly ash bark, lots of barks, sassafras root, vanilla beans, doggrass, molasses, and licorice. I do not know what all those spices are, and it makes sense that they don't list this whole list on the side of a root beer bottle, but I kind of wish they did. Instead of just saying natural flavors, I wish I could be able to pick out, hey, what's the difference between wild cherry bark and dogwood? Anyways, now you know more about root beer, and let's find out more about Henry Weinhard's root beer. First thing first is it's got a super cool cap. It says roll out the barrel. It's got a picture of this 1800 looking gentleman. This says it's the original recipe, which I think is really interesting because a lot of sodas have changed their recipes over the years and they're not always better. Henry Weinhard's root beer, gourmet soda, drop style head. Ooh, I'm curious about how much it foams. A gourmet soda handcrafted with natural and artificial flavors, including sassafras, vanilla, and honey. Did my list have honey? I don't know if it did, but lots of root beer these days have honey as an added sweetener. Blitz Weinhard Gourmet Soda Company, Fort Worth, Texas. All right, Fort Worth is right next to Plano, where they make Dr. Pepper. I wonder if this is going to taste anything like Dr. Pepper. Carbonated water, sucrose, natural and artificial flavor, sodium benzoate, it preserves the freshness, phosphoric acid, and caramel color. There's an ingredient that they add to root beers to give it caramel color and extra foam. I'll look up what that is and tell you later. Unless you know, put it in the comments. So this is getting kind of long. Let's go ahead and try this root beer. Ooh. They weren't kidding about that foamy head. I didn't get a chance to taste it as I tried to stop the spillage. It's very sweet, but not overly sweet. But that being said, like all I'm getting is sweet flavor. I'm not getting any of the spices or bitterness. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, that's mostly head. Okay. I'm going to have to clean up the floor down here. All right, let's go through this review quickly. Sweetness is kind of, I'm going to give it a 3 for sweetness, but that's all I'm getting. So for creaminess, it doesn't feel that creamy. It looked creamy. I'm going to give it a 3. It's fine. But for spices, I'm going to give it a 1. Like I'm not getting any spice, just sweet. And for bitterness, a 1. Not very much. So, sorry, John and your family. Thank you for the root beer, but I'm not too impressed with it. It's fine. Like, it seems very standard. Like, if you wanted a root beer and you got this, you'd say, great. Not anything special, but not disappointing. I'm going to give it a 4.5 for my general review. If you have any other root beers you want me to try, I kind of want to get a map of all the states and try root beer from every state. Let me know. Thanks very much. Bye.